Well, hey folks, and welcome to Solarcabin channel. You caught me out mining for dumpster gold. So I thought I would share some advice about dumpster diving from a long-time dumpster diver. And what I want to explain to you is some of the rules for dumpster diving that most of us follow, and some good advice to keep you out of trouble. For one thing, I'm here at one of my local stops. This is a glass and window installation place here in town, and this is where I get a lot of my stuff because they're always pulling old windows and doors and other cabinets and things like that out of people's houses to replace them with new stuff, and then they put them in their dumpster. So one of the things I want to tell you first rule is get permission. I always go into a business and I ask them nicely, would you mind if I take some of the stuff out of your dumpster, and I'll make sure I clean up after myself. If you do that, they're generally very nice about letting you get stuff out. They don't want kids around the dumpsters, okay, and so that's a danger to them. Plus, you're talking about industrial waste. So one of the things that I highly recommend if you're going to be dumpster diving is you need to protect yourself. You should have gloves, because like this dumpster here has glass in it, sharp metal objects. It may have industrial chemicals in it, so you should have gloves. And I recommend that you have a mask of some sort, even if it's just a bandana. Put something over your nose and mouth, because as you're stirring stuff up in those dumpsters, you're going to be stirring up dust and chemicals and stuff like that. So make sure that you're protecting yourself. You don't want to breathe in any toxic fumes or dust into your lungs. That wouldn't be worth anything that you get out of the dumpster. And, be careful jumping into dumpsters. I'm really careful. I reach in from the outside. I don't climb into dumpsters unless it's something really great in there. I usually don't climb into dumpsters, and that's not a good idea, because if you happen to hit your head and knock yourself out, you could end up in the back of a trash truck, okay? Compacted. Not a great way to be going out of this world. So take care of yourself. Make sure you get permission. Most businesses will work with you very well if you're that. Now, the other thing is, when I started mining for dumpster gold, I was really indiscriminate. I took everything. If it looked like it might be something I could use, I would take that out of the dumpster, and I would take it back to my place. And the result was I ended up with a whole bunch of junk that I never did use, and that attracts vermin. It attracts, all kinds of problems to your yard. Your neighbors will start complaining that your yard looks like a trash heap, and so the other reason I would say don't be indiscriminate, be picky about what you take out of dumpsters is you'll find in towns that there's a lot of guys like me that are also dumpster divers. I know of several guys here that do the same thing I do. They come down regularly and check the dumpsters to see if there's something they might be able to use. If you take everything, okay, you're taking stuff that they may be able to use that you're not going to use on your property. So I only look for stuff that I'm actually going to use that I think would be a good for a project that I'm working on. Okay, so those are some basic rules for dumpster diving. So let's take a look in this dumpster and see what kind of gold we got hanging out here. Right, so they get a lot of windows. First thing you can see in this dumpster is they've got broken door or automobile windows. But then if you look a little closer, you can see some aluminum frame screen doors. Okay, now on another time, if I really need a screen door, I happen to have a couple of these, so I don't need them. But those are really nice screen doors. Now, I'm sure the frames are probably bent up and stuff like that, but the screen can be salvaged. The aluminum that's on them is a recyclable, and there's other metal parts and frames and stuff in here. There's also some wood, as you can see down there. A couple of pretty good pieces of wood that I would normally grab. But like I said, I've got a lot of this stuff in my house, so I don't need that. Now, some other things that I look for that they also let me take here is pallets. And as you can see, they've got some pallets there, and they've got some old doors there. See those doors? Ooh! Now, those are interior doors, okay? And they would let me have those if I wanted them. I've got a couple of them in my place, but they would let me have those interior doors for nothing. I could just haul them off if you need doors for the inside of your cabin or a shed project or something like that. Pallets you can always find everywhere. If nothing else, they're good for making fence stays and garden boxes and stuff like that. So I would usually come down and grab pallets and stuff like that or whatever. Now, another rule about whatever you get out of a dumpster, make sure you clean up after yourself. If you do go pulling stuff out of a dumpster, don't leave a mess. They'll stop you from coming back again if you do that. So if you pull stuff out to get underneath stuff and pull stuff out, then make sure you put it all back in the dumpster and clean up for yourself. And a lot of times I carry a whisk broom and a dustpan with me in my truck when I'm dumpster diving, and I'll sweep up around the dumpster. And I'll make sure their employees see me, that I'm sweeping up and cleaning up, and they all know what I'm doing. And I've never had any problem with them complaining about it. So this is one of the stops. I'm going to take you to 2 other stops where I go. So let's go on down to the road to one of my other dumpster mines and see what's out there today. Okay, so this is one of my other favorite mines, and this is at a carpet installation business. And again, I have permission to come and look in their dumpster and pull stuff out. And as you would suspect, at a carpet installation place, you're going to find all kinds of carpeting and carpet pad. And you can see some of this. This is really expensive, nice carpet. This is not cheap carpet here. And pieces like that can be used for all kinds of projects. Floor mats in your cars, or you can use them as, you can make place rugs for your house or whatever. And you get expensive carpet that are just pieces and cuts. And you also can get carpet pad. And I also find other little goodies in here. There's a lot of stuff times they'll pull out. Look, there's all kinds of carpet pad down there. Carpet pad is also insulation for a lot of projects if you're building. In fact, I'm going to come down and get some of that later in my truck. I'm just scavenging. I'm looking right now, scouting out what I want to get. So that carpet pad right there works great as insulation in a project like a chicken coop or a dog house or something like that. You can put it right on the walls with some construction adhesive. So this is one of my favorite little haunts, and I usually come down here a couple times a month and just check and see what they got. But like I said, always leave stuff for the other dumpster miners, because you know, this is a process where we're trying to help everybody, not just ourselves. So, you know, don't be selfish. Leave some stuff for some other people. All right, so now I'll take you to my third haunt where I go, and I'm going to come back later with my truck and get some of that carpet pad. While I'm driving to my next mine, there was a couple other things that I wanted to mention about dumpster diving to be aware of. Some things that I don't get from dumpsters or off the side of the road that somebody has left to be picked up: furniture, bedding, old mattresses, and old carpet. The reason is those things are probably being thrown away for a reason. They may be infested with insect larvae, eggs, from anything from bed bugs to cockroaches. And so you don't want to bring that stuff back and get your house infested with those bugs. So I would recommend that you don't pick that stuff up. You can get that stuff at a second-hand store or a salvage store that treats it and makes sure that it's been checked for insects. If you pick it up out of a dumpster, or you pick it up off the side of a street, you're taking a real chance that you're going to bring home insects or bugs back to your house. So that's just some of the gold that I would leave there and let it be properly taken to the landfill. All right, we're on to our next mine. Okay, so I saved my favorite mining dumpster for last, and this is at a cabinet installation place, and they build custom cabinets here. They don't just install them. And I come here a lot because I can get very nice pieces of wood. I've got oak and you know, maple and walnut wood out of these dumpsters before, and you know, they're usually small pieces. They may be odd cuts and things like that. But I get some really nice wood that's very expensive that I probably wouldn't even buy by myself because it's just too expensive to buy. But it's great for small projects, and so I love coming to these dumpsters. However, today I'm a little bit on the light side. I must be late. They must have come and emptied these a few days ago. And that's one thing I would recommend, is you know what the schedule is for emptying the dumpsters, because if you know what the schedule is, you can beat them before they get everything. And I like to check a couple times a week, but it's been a while since I've been back to this place because I didn't need any wood before now. Now, another great thing about businesses like this is a lot of times if you go in and ask them where they take out old cabinets and stuff like that, and a lot of times they'll have leftovers from projects. Somebody ordered something they didn't want. Well, this is where I got my cabinet doors, because I was doing a remodel on the interior of my cabin. I wanted some fancy doors, but I sure wasn't going to pay $25 to $30 for a door to go on a cabinet. So I went and asked them, have you got any leftovers, maybe something that's got a little blem to it or a little scratch or something like that, a dent and scratch. They sold me some $25 doors for my cabinets for $5 a piece. You know, so I also do business here with these local businesses. That helps them out. It gets the stuff out of their way. Now, these are the dumpsters that I'm going to be mining. However, there's not any wood in here today, so like I said, I missed it. But here's something I want to show you. See that 5-gallon bucket? be real careful, because you can see it's full of stuff. That's an industrial adhesive. Would not be good to breathe in. So this is some of the waste I'm talking about that can end up in dumpsters that would be not good for you. So you want to be real careful about what you're reaching into and grabbing into. Wear gloves, a mask, appropriate shoes, and you know, you might even want to get some goggles if you do this all the time. Now they do have some old carpet. It looks a little stained. I don't know that I would want to grab that. That's older carpet. It's not new carpet like I can get over at the other place. But if you needed a project or something like that, there's a nice big piece of carpet in there. There is a little bit of stuff over here, but it looks like they pretty much emptied. It looks like there's some laminate flooring, some older laminate flooring down there, but it's pretty bad shape, so I probably wouldn't salvage that. Now normally, like I said, I would get some really nice oak pieces and maple pieces and trim and stuff out of here. And looks like I need to check back another day. My mind is empty today. There isn't too much to take out of here. But really good spot to come and check. This is again a cabinet shop, so I would you know, check out these places. And again, I have permission to come and check in the dumpsters. So there you go. You've been taken through my mines, where I spend quite a bit of time. I come down here usually at least once a week, 2 or 3 times a month. I come down and check. Again, I don't take indiscriminately anymore. Leave stuff for other people. Now the reason dumpster diving is actually good for society, because for one thing, it takes stuff that would normally end up in a landfill, that fills up a landfill that we all pay taxes for. It keeps stuff out of the landfill. It recycles that material instead of having to produce new material. New material takes a lot of energy to produce, okay? And but here again, I would say that you also want to do business with the businesses that you recycle from. And so, you know, once in a while I try to buy something from these businesses. That way I'm throwing business their way instead of just taking stuff and using it for free. So I do recommend that. You know, help the local businesses out. And you know, enjoy your dumpster diving. You know, make it an outing. But be careful out there. Be real careful. Don't climb into dumpsters. I don't recommend that. Reach in over the sides. Wear appropriate safety gear. And have a good time. And I hope the gold you find is just magnificent. All right, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do like my videos. Subscribe to my channel. Go by my website. Check out some of the new plans I have on there. SimpleSolarHomesteading.com. See you, everybody.